and welcome to the third show in the series of Wine Wednesdays. And first of all, thank you so much for all the views. I think we're close to 4,000, so thank you very much. And with me in the writer's room today is a fellow writer, Paul Bretton. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Actually, that's not bad. It's a rather nice Merlot from Southwest Australia. So, Paul, as a writer, it's really important to talk to people. And that way you get insight into characterisation, what works as a film and what doesn't. So, just as an opener, tell me what films you like and why.
I think the list of films that I like is very short, whereas opposed to the list of films that I don't like is very long. But, for example, rom-coms, action, superhero films, where things are taken out and you have this deus ex machina. So you have a rom-com, it sets up this unreasonable expectation. Boy meets girl, boy and girl have argument, boy and girl get back together, live happily ever after. Well, no, that's just the first argument in their relationship. People always want to say, well, what happened next?
So what do you go and watch typically? Rom-com, thrillers?
But the last film I watched on the plane was actually the Blues Brothers.
Okay, good film, good film. So what about opening scenes? So you're sitting at home or you're in the cinema, the film opens, first 5 minutes. At least for me, it's got to grab me in the first 30 seconds to a minute. Otherwise, I tend to, reach for the popcorn and doze off. So
I was watching something on Netflix called In Time.
Yeah.
And the opening scene was he had some lasery lights written on his arm and was counting down, and you're like, oh, what's that? And it was then followed by 5 minutes of him talking with his very young-looking mother. So you were like, okay, what's going on here? Why is she? What are the lights? What's going on? But they lost their audience because it was 5 minutes in, he still hadn't left the house, and it was like you need to have something that's gonna grab you.
Yeah, I agree.
Heath Ledger's the Joker.
Yeah.
He's walking away from the hospital in a nurse's outfit, looking a little bit dishevelled, and he goes click, 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 boom, So that you got to grab someone from the instant. If you Peter Brett wrote a book called the Desert Spear, and the first 250 pages are the backstory of every single character. And that's kind of like a little bit of condescension.
Yeah, I mean, backstory is important, but you can have too much of it.
You can also weave it into the story. People can catch up and go, oh, I see, rather than this is now what happened and this is now very robotic.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like opening scenes that make you guess a bit. We talked an hour or so ago about, hotel room, and rather zooming in on a couple or a guy in bed, you see a desk with an ashtray and a smoking cigarette. So immediately, at least for me, I wonder, well, who's smoking the cigarette? Why is it burning in an ashtray? Whose is it? And then the character comes in. Blinds are drawn, but you can see sunlight, peeking through the curtains. So you're wondering, well, why is the room in darkness?
If you had a screenplay that just popped up with Danny picked up the phone.
Cheers, by the way. You can drink. It's allowed. It's Wine Wednesday, after all.
Gotta love Wednesdays.
Yeah. And we get better the more we drink. So.
And it tastes better the more we drink.
Yeah.
Look at the legs on that. So if you had like a direction saying Danny picked up the phone, would you as a director say, what am I doing here? Where's my thing? Or would you feel that there was a little bit more freedom and you could decide where Danny was picking up the phone?
Well, it's important, I think, to explore what people think about the nature of films for which you're writing. So whether it's action or thriller or drama, talk to people like Paul, fellow writers, fellow producers, people that just go to watch the cinema. And in fact, just to draw to a close, what Paul and I are going to do is we're actually going to go on a road trip around some of the vineyards in southern Australia, Margaret River.
Looking forward.
And we're going to obviously sample some lovely wines. but also talk to a host of people about film. I'll be looking at it with Paul as writers, and we've got camera, sound, an entire crew who will be looking at it through the eyes of their profession. So I look forward to that.
It's going to be good.
Okay. Cheers, Paul.
Cheers, Mark.
Cheers.
Taking views.
Fantastic. And what's the theme?
Motorcycles and wine.
Okay, but it's a film programme, so maybe get some film in there.
Perhaps. Well.
Yeah. Cut.
Yep.
Thank you.